I'm seeing that trend also, that after they feel like they have tried everything and still feel broken, they just give up. And so turn to God as a way to justify what's happening to them and save them. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is this particular person that said, I'm seeing the trend is that they feel like they've tried everything and still feel broken. They just give up and turn to God. And I've got a kind of somewhat similar perspective, but just not looking at it through the given up. It's not that they've given up, like they've quit and they've failed because they've been approaching it wrong, and now they're quitting because they're weak. That kind of feels like that's the presupposition in there. They've tried, nothing's working, they still feel like they're broken, and then they go to God as an absolute tail between their legs. You couldn't do it, so you quit. That's not how I see it at all. It's that they've actually, with the particular people that I know of that have converted to Christianity, they've crushed it in life and done a lot and achieved a lot, and then they've gotten to a point where they realize that there's a ceiling with that, and that they've learned through that, and that took so much courage to create and build and actually thrive and succeed. It's not that they failed at what they were doing, it's that they succeeded with it, and then they found that there is potentially an even more powerful approach for them, which means surrendering ultimately their entire identity. And instead of viewing life through the lens of I'm doing everything, they're taking a courageous leap to say, you know what? It's not me calling all the shots. It's not me that's doing everything. It's God, it's Jesus, and I'm willing to accept that I am not the leader of the whole universe, but instead I am a humble participant doing my best. Please, I'm surrendering now. I'm having the courage to surrender. Please show me the way. Please guide me. Please support me. And that, in my opinion, is one powerful decision if, because this is all speculatory, if that's the motivating factor that someone has led from in that approach, if they've made that transition. That's another perspective through which to view it. Another perspective is that someone was just sick of trying, and that they do feel broken, and they're like, God save me. And I mean, if someone does choose that, which is what the somewhat judgmental undertoned comment on my cover photo kind of insinuated, if someone does that, then good on them. I mean, do you, speaking to the person that wrote that comment, think that like you have all the answers? That your life is better if you kind of break through? See, my perspective is that we've got 8 billion people in the world. My perspective is that we're all incarnated here to have a different flavored experience of life. Some people are going to be a gardener. Some people are going to be firemen. Some people, and I'm just using career as a way to show some different flavors. Life is about so many more flavors than just career. Someone's here to go for parliament. Someone's here, and their soul flavor is to be an athlete. Someone else's soul flavor is to be an engineer. Someone else's soul flavor is to do social justice work. Someone else is to be a school teacher. And they're all beautiful flavors of life. We're all living and we're all going to die. And so we have this window of life and window of opportunity to experience while we're here whatever feels aligned to us. So whether someone wants to be a student, a follower of Jesus Christ, whether they want to convert to Islam, whether they want to be a spiritual student, or they want to say stuff spirituality, in my opinion, it's all just flavors of existence. It's all just God in drag going, wonder what it feels like to be this and do this, this, and this. Wonder what it feels like to say, screw my health, I'm just going to binge eat a bunch of food. Or my flavor is screw health, binge eat a bunch of food. Oh my gosh, I feel crap. Now I'm going to start prioritizing my health, and now I help people with my health. None of them are better. But in my opinion, the experience that someone will get to have inside of their body, mind, and soul, the way that they feel in their reality is going to be more or less fulfilling based on one's connection to their own alignment. And if you want to understand more of this, I've done some other podcast episodes. We'll put them in the show notes where I address the ultimate truth behind reality. And I've done a podcast episode called "The Meaning of," it was either "The Purpose of Life" or "The Meaning of Life." And I'll share my full perspective on there if you want to go check that out. But who are we to judge? First and foremost, if we're judging, we are going to experience the venom of that judgment, and we're going to experience the feeling of separation and the non-fulfillment that comes from that, the suffering that comes from that, where we're like, oh my gosh, that person converted to Christianity. Can't believe they gave up and they quit. We're feeling separate in that situation. If the person that became a Christian is feeling, oh my gosh, I'm so connected to God. I'm now devoted. Thank you so much, Jesus. Thank you for everything. Thanks for creating all of this. And they're seeing everything through the eyes of love. They're probably seeing the person that's judging them through the eyes of love as well. And that person that's seeing the judger through the eyes of love is experiencing love and fulfillment. However, I just feel it's not cool on a human level to just be judging other people on their path. And we all do it. I do it. I'm not enlightened, so I still have things that I think are better and worse in life. And I have the preference not to judge. I do it as little as possible, but I still do. And let's do our best not to. Let's give people their sovereignty and honor and respect for being a unique flavor of God, their own whole person, whole being, and respect and honor their path. It's just, in my opinion, it's a nice approach to have in order to be able to connect with people and build community and feel like we belong here and we're respecting and loving other people. So in a nutshell, I perceive that there's a chance that I believe that anyone that is a thought leader, whether they're male or female, but I've referenced more because my own experience has been knowing of some powerful female thought leaders in the spirituality space that have converted to Christianity and left behind their other spiritual beliefs at the door. I perceive that they have done that as an evolutionary step in their life, that they're actually moving forward, that they're growing, and it's taken them courage, it's taken them heart to make that decision. And that if you don't do the same thing, you can still be evolving. I can still be evolving and moving forward without converting to Christianity in an equal level in my own approach in my own life, and so can you. And I think it's worth honoring the courage that it would take someone to make a leap of faith like that, to surrender and shed their identity, to be able to pivot paths so strongly in a spiritual front to do something like that. Obviously, there are other perspectives as well, heaps of other perspectives on the topic. I just think that they're probably more commonly spoken about, so it's less valuable for me to talk about them and more valuable for me to talk about the different states of consciousness and just what I noticed with someone being able to move from discipline to surrender, and for a female leader to get a lot of value from that, for it to take a lot of courage to do that. And there are obviously powerful aspects around community, powerful benefits in community for someone to make that transition. And you know what? I value community massively now. I'm not the most competent in community, meaning I don't feel fully safe in community, and I don't necessarily contribute to community and foster community in the most powerful way because I'm still learning to do that because I'm a bit of a noob at it. However, I value it. I perceive that it is a hugely powerful ingredient to fulfillment in life.